silver tide and breath of night, pouring down in purest light. Empty self and stillness grown, till I am not, but she is known. Drawing down the moon is one of the most profound rites in modern esoteric tradition, a ceremonial act of embodiment in which lunar divinity is invited to descend into the practitioner's consciousness and speak through them. In its most classical interpretation, this rite is associated with the high priestess as a vessel of reception, becoming a living conduit for the goddess. The practitioner does not merely channel in a distant sense. The identity of the individual is temporarily surrendered, allowing divine presence to move through voice, gesture, and awareness. In this state, it is said that the personal self steps aside and the lunar current becomes fully present within the circle. The moon in this context is not only a celestial body, but a symbolic intelligence, representing intuition, mystery, cycles, emotional depth, and the hidden rhythms of existence. To draw it down is to align with those forces so completely that they are no longer observed, but embodied. This working is considered advanced because it requires a rare balance. Complete surrender without loss of grounding. The practitioner must be able to release ego identity while maintaining stability within the physical form. Without preparation, the intensity of such immersion can lead to disorientation, emotional overwhelm, or fragmentation of focus. The ritual structure often begins with purification and centering. Sacred space is established, not as decoration, but as containment, defining a boundary between ordinary perception and ritual consciousness. Within this space, the practitioner enters deep stillness and, often through breathwork, chant, or repetitive focus that quiets analytical thought. As awareness deepens, attention is directed upward, not physically, but symbolically. The practitioner visualizes lunar light descending, not as external illumination, but as a living current that gently enters the crown of the head and expands through the body. At this threshold, identity begins to soften. Luna Magna, veil of night, step through shadow, wear my light. Not as mine, but yours alone. Speak through flesh and claim this throne. In traditional accounts, once successful, the practitioner may experience a shift in perception, voice, posture, and presence altering in ways described as distinct from their ordinary state. The words spoken in this condition are not treated as personal expression, but as oracular transmission. However, it is essential to understand the symbolic and psychological depth of this practice. Many modern interpretations view drawing down not as literal possession, but as archetypal alignment, the conscious mind temporarily stepping aside so that intuitive, subconscious, and symbolic intelligence can express itself without interference. In this sense, the goddess is not entering from outside, but emerging from within the depths of the psyche, revealed through ritual structure, intention, and focus. The absence of the practitioner is therefore not erasure, but suspension of ordinary identity. Because of its intensity, This rite is traditionally reserved for trained practitioners operating within structured circles of trust and guidance. The emotional and energetic weight of full immersion requires grounding before, during, and after the experience. Without integration, the return to ordinary consciousness can feel abrupt or destabilizing. When the rite concludes, the practitioner gently reclaims identity, not as separation from the divine, but as reintegration. The vessel returns to selfhood, carrying memory, insight, and symbolic imprint from the experience. The moon is then released, not dismissed, but thanked. The descent is acknowledged as complete, and what remains is transformed awareness. Not possession, not loss, but union experienced and released. When silence falls and light withdraws, I am myself beneath her laws. Yet in my breath her tides remain, a quiet